Hello, I'm Avery or Hazel or Kylie. You can just pick one. I don't care.
Hello, I am Lily.
And welcome to the From the Closet podcast.
From the plaza.
No, Closet.
Closet. I like plaza better.
Today we are covering Strange World, so obviously this podcast will contain spoilers for said movie. If you'd like to avoid them, there would be a link in the description below to the Just Watch page for this movie, which itself will have links to all the places you can rent, purchase, or stream this movie, with prices listed for renting and purchasing, although prices aren't listed for streaming for some reason. For us here in the US, it's available on Disney Plus. Uh, Also in the description, you'll find a link to our Patreon where you can vote on future episodes of this show, as well as get access to episodes before they release, as well as early access to episodes of our sister show, Off the Shelf, which is about books. And that podcast is exclusive to YouTube and Patreon. Also in the description is a link to Spotify for podcasters, which itself has links to every platform that this podcast is on, as well as links to our Instagram and Twitter, where you can be notified when we release new episodes. If you would like to support the podcast but cannot do so financially, the best way to do so is to listen to us and rate us on Spotify. We recently had all of our episodes lose monetization on all platforms, and the only way to get it back is to get more listeners on Spotify, which makes no sense to me, but that's how Spotify wants to treat us.
It's like, that's how the Mafia works, and that's how Spotify works.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we get the listeners on Spotify, and then our podcast is monetized again on all platforms again.
I don't know how this works anymore.
Yeah.
We haven't been monetized in a while, so, everything could have just changed. Everything could have not changed. I could have grown a beard, but we're not talking about that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just annoying. But anyway, if you'd like to avoid the spoilers, well, actually, we got a few more shit to say. Lily, can you spin the wheel to determine what we're covering?
Crap. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, to determine what we're covering next week.
I was even preparing myself for it, then I just... No, you better? Okay, good. Interesting.
Oh.
We finally get to finish this up. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2.
Well, finish this up for now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, considering the prequel book is getting adapted into a movie later this year. But yeah, you can join us for Mockingjay Part 2 next week, as well as the Seven Deadly Sins Seasons 1 and 2. But with all that being said, please get out if you would like to avoid spoilers, because we are going to discuss this movie now.
This movie is strange.
Wow, come up with that one on your own, did you?
Yeah, completely on my own.
Okay, so I would say the reviews are right on this one. At least the reviews I've seen. This movie is pretty average.
I will be honest, there are it goes from, at worst, painfully mid to, at best, pretty good.
I mean, I will say it is refreshing to see an openly gay male character from Disney, because every single LGBT character I've seen from Disney so far has been a female character.
Huh.
So that's nice. It's also nice to see that it's a character who is already out, and everyone already knows that he's gay. Or at least it seems like his family knows already.
Well, at the very least, no one cares. Literally, Jaeger Clade listened to him say how he had a crush on a man, said nothing about it.
Yeah.
Other than bad dating advice.
Yeah, pretty much. But, I don't know. While coming out stories are, they're fine. I enjoy them. sometimes it's nice to have something else.
I mean, yeah, this is like the epitome of something else.
Yeah. And it's not even really that big of a deal in this movie. It's like, yeah, he's gay. Okay, that's it. It's just an aspect of.
But they still found reasons to get outraged.
Oh yeah. But yeah, think about it too though. Like every single time, like every single other gay Disney character I've seen has been a female character. You have the one friend in Turning Red, which like that was one scene in the movie. You have the
Hmm.
lesbians in Lightyear, which granted I haven't actually seen that movie, but
Was literally one kiss.
yeah. Then you have Luz and Amity in the Owl House. Hey, are you going to soccer game tonight? And you also have Star Butterfly in Star versus the Forces of
Um,
Evil. All right, and we're back after a little bit of a interruption. But yeah, like as I was saying, that's like six female characters. Uh, that's like just about all the LGBT representation we've gotten, other than Rain in the Owl House. But Rain's not a male character either; they're non-binary.
Also, if you want to, there is one character that could be, but it's not gay. It's trans. Um, it was in the Baymax show where
Oh, I haven't seen that, and I never even heard anything about it.
um what? Wait, haven't you heard about the one trans cameo?
No.
Baymax was buying tampons, and there was this well, trans male there had a trans shirt, and well,
Oh, that was in the Baymax show. I
yeah.
I never got the connection that this had anything to do with Disney.
Oh, but you heard about that
Yeah, like I heard about cartoon trans man is buying tampons.
yeah,
Like
this
that
was in
that
the Baymax show.
okay. Um
Yeah, I
that's
know.
pretty cool, I guess.
I was a bit surprised that you didn't hear about it, but yeah, that makes sense. That you just heard about it, you just didn't know where it was from.
Yeah. And then like I guess other male characters like male LGBT characters exist now in the MCU, but the MCU is kind of detached from Disney, I feel.
Yeah. Though, what about Star Wars? Like, if you want to talk about, there's a lot of people blame Disney for the Star Wars that are being put out, but I never know if they're attached, detached.
I feel like if there's any two properties, well, actually, if there's any three properties that Disney owns that don't really feel like Disney properties, it's Star Wars, Marvel, and National Geographic.
Yeah, it's like you better have been mentioning National Geographics. I'm not watching National Geographic. It's like, yeah, that reminds me of some Disney content.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. They don't feel Disney at all. Like Disney technically owns them, but that's about it. And as far as LGBT representation in Star Wars goes,
I don't
I
know.
have no fucking idea. Yeah, I have no fucking idea if there's anything there.
I think we should
Um,
get more LGBT representation in Nat Geo Wild. I mean, I guess you could,
God damn it.
record penguins.
Yeah, but oof. Uh, you know, it's reminding me. I do want us to cover Star Trek at some point, but like we've had the whole conversation before about how long Star Trek is and how difficult it would be to cover. Um, but like one of the things about Star Trek is that it was pretty progressive for its time.
Really?
Um, yeah, in fact, Star Trek, what like it had the first ever interracial kiss on television.
No kidding. Huh. The more you know.
But yeah, like I said, the big problem with Star Trek is that it's too long.
Look, I was,
Like
some seasons of Agents of Shield, I was losing hair over. This is just, why is my friend DMing me an all caps cake?
yeah,
What
I
the
don't
hell
know.
is going
It's
on right now?
I don't know. That's a weird interruption, but yeah, Star Trek. I think it was like we were looking at it, and the first season was 30 episodes, and each episode was like a full hour long.
Yeah, that was a yikes moment.
Yeah.
That
So we'll probably still cover it eventually, but we're gonna have to figure something else out because our usual format for TV shows is not going to work for Star Trek. It just isn't.
that is a very big eventually, by the way.
Yeah, very big eventually. Probably like a few years down the line. But anyway, back to Strange World. Um, it is refreshing to see more Disney like LGBT characters, but I also feel that led to this movie not being advertised as much as other Disney movies. Like Encanto was advertised a shit ton, as was blah, blah, uh, Moana, Zootopia, pretty much every other Disney movie for the past like 6 years. Um, but this movie, I think I saw advertisements for it like maybe 10 times. Um,
And I mean, I mostly saw advertisements when it was already on Disney Plus.
yeah, like that's the other thing too. Like all these other movies, I saw ads before they even hit theaters.
Yeah, no,
Um, with with this movie, I think I saw an ad for it one time before it hit theaters, and that ad was in the theater.
was it a good ad?
It was okay,
Actually,
but
wait, did I? Because I saw the bad guys, and I can't remember if there was a Strange World ad in that.
eh.
But oh, speaking of theaters, I should probably mention I seen this movie in theaters.
Oh, that's real neat. I didn't see this in theaters. I'm not sure why. I think there might have been an MCU movie coming out around that time that would explain
You
it
didn't hear
because
about it because no one else did.
no, I heard about it and I even had like been hoping I could see it in theaters. But what probably happened is something else came out that I wanted to see, and I figured, hey, this movie's going to end up on Disney Plus anyway.
Yeah.
So,
So I was at my we were at the mall with my friend. I was at the mall with my friend. So and it has like a cinema built in, and we were looking just like at the movies, and I just offhandedly said, I kind of want to see a Strange World. And it was like, yeah, sure, let's go see it. We had to wait in the mall for a little bit for it to get to like 4. That's when it was showing.
God, I miss when it was feasible for me and my dad to just like go see a movie offhandedly, knowing nothing about it. We don't do that anymore.
No, in fact, I remember we saw an advertisement for Puss in Boots. In fact, we were even talking about the Puss in Boots movie. And it's like, oh yeah, I would really. My friend said he would really want to see that movie, but it's not out yet at the time.
Has he seen the movie?
We watched it together.
Oh, neat. Um,
That was the second movie we watched at the ending of that year. Okay,
yeah.
that was the third, but of that entire year.
Um, for reference, the last movie I saw in theaters was Guardians of the no, I was about to talk about not seeing that. The last movie I saw in theaters was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I wanted to go see the Mario movie in theaters. Didn't end up happening. Wanted to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in theaters, and that also didn't end up happening. I'm still kind of hoping I can go see Across the Spider-Verse in theaters.
I was thinking about my friend. Apparently, he saw the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
I've been hearing it's really fucking good. Like best Marvel movie since No Way Home good.
Damn. But sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Um, so yeah, we saw this movie. I don't know, like when I left the theater, I came up like it was pretty good, all things considered. I liked the plot, I liked the characters. The plot, like there was parts of it that were predictable, like right when they were talking about you know, no, not everything's a monster you have to kill. I was like, and that's the lesson for this movie.
Yeah, and then there was like also things like I knew that the person who jumped in and saved oh fuck, I don't remember his name. Uh the father character, Ethan's father.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Person who jumped in and saved him, like I knew that was gonna be his father somehow surviving, which they don't explain. Um
I mean, they do show him surviving just off the land in the movie, but I guess you can just assume that's how he survived.
Yeah. But yeah, I totally called that that was going to be him. I also totally called that he would quote unquote turn into his father and upset Ethan in some way
I mean, we
by
all
doing
saw
the.
that he was turning into his father.
But yeah, I definitely think I also agree with another criticism I've seen of this movie, and it's that the environmental metaphor that it absolutely is going for does kind of fall a little bit flat.
I mean, I just do not see it as like, well, it is environmental metaphor, but it also is a bigger metaphor of destroying, legacy and what that means.
I don't know. Like personally, I just feel like the movie maybe could have benefited from having a like proper villain.
I
Um
mean, the proper villain, the villain was the plant. Give me the plant. Sorry.
hmm. And it's a trend I've been seeing with Disney movies where like the past several Disney movies have been about like generational conflict. You have like Encanto, you have Turning Red, and this movie, and I'm trying to think of Raya and the Last Dragon was also about generational conflict in a, a loose-ish kind of way, but it was there.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird. The ending of that was also a little bit weird too, because like,
But yeah, like I don't know. It seems like Disney is in their generational conflict era, which I mean, at least it's not the twist villain era anymore because that
eh,
was awful.
that you know, if to say anything, at least they're improving. But I did like this villain. Okay, let's be honest. If we're counting this as a villain, it is totally a twist villain.
Eh, I don't know if I even count this as a villain because it's just I don't know if you'd call it a virus or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, if you did call it a villain, it'd have to be called a twist villain because
Yeah,
of the
but like
presentation.
there's not even a personality attached to it, so that's why I'm like not really considering it a villain. Um,
Yeah, I guess it's more of a disease than a disease winning.
with help.
Well, and then the help that it once got stopped helping it. Then it
But
died.
yeah, like um I feel like this whole generational conflict storyline that they've been doing it it peaked with Encanto.
I do. There's one thing. If I'm gonna say one thing about this movie, I do like how yes, it is like just one of the generational conflict movies, but it does have something to it because I mean, everyone's just angry at their dad at this point.
Yeah, I don't
Also,
know.
can we talk about how terrible of a name Searcher is?
Yeah, that's what his fucking name was. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a terrible name.
Like, oh my god, if you're naming your kid that, you must be a trash father.
Also, I just want to take the time to mention something that I said to Lily while I was watching this movie. The
Oh my
character
god.
Caspian, the character Caspian, just to me, the entire time, he sounded like Kermit the Frog, and it made the movie so fucking weird for me.
Let's see what another thing. You said another thing, and I love this quote. I'm a huge fan of your dad. Do you think you can forge his autograph?
Yeah, I don't know. I found that one a little funny.
I will give this movie a few bits of credit. The jokes do land.
I mean, I definitely like blew through my nose a couple of times.
That joke, okay,
It didn't have
maybe
me
there was,
bending over laughing,
well, yeah,
but
but
it
like,
was kind of funny.
um, the conflict was interesting. I'm not going to say unique because that's a lie, but it was interesting.
Yeah, like I don't know. I've seen like this conflict storyline like dozens and dozens of times,
Well, I mean,
especially in the recent years with a lot of Disney movies doing it.
that meshed with the, I'm not talking about the generational conflict, I'm talking about the whole Pando thing. Panda, I'm just gonna call it Panda. Um, how that they're secretly, like, they're helping the thing that's killing the environment physically.
Like that's not something that I'm that surprised about. I feel like I've seen that storyline before
Yeah,
in other
probably.
places. In fact, thinking about it, um, maybe not necessarily like killing the environment, but like actually, I definitely have seen the oh wait, we're actually helping the bad guys. Oh no.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen that before. In one particular place. Spoilers for uh, Fossil Fighters Champions.
The frick?
Yeah, like there's a huge twist where you realize, oh, we're actually helping the bad guys.
I like how you're laughing. It's like, yeah, spoilers for. You're never gonna freaking believe this.
But yeah, it was a whole thing. But yeah,
Uh,
it
it happened.
the animation in this movie is pretty good. I
Oh,
didn't really
yeah,
pay.
if I want to talk about the aesthetic in this movie, especially rewatching when you know everything is, like, living. Like, this is, the internal organs of something. I mean, it looks amazing.
And the whole thing where like they find out they're living on like a giant organism. I'm just sitting here thinking, oh, it's the lion turtles from Avatar.
Yeah, however, you didn't, like, go into the lion turtles.
True, but I don't think they were ever intended to go into the whatever it is.
And besides, I don't think the lion turtles were the first living organisms that are also giants that are lived upon.
I mean, that kind of happens in the animal kingdom every day because giant is a relative term.
Also, I mean, I know it's not before Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm pretty sure Xenoblade is like that.
Well, I haven't played a single fucking Xenoblade game, so
I said I'm pretty sure. I don't actually know.
yeah,
I barely know much about Xenoblade, so
I've literally borrowed a friend's copy of like Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and I had it for like a month, and then I returned it. Never fucking took it out of the case.
huh. I mean,
Like, it's just a lot of work to get my Switch hooked up to the TV and like actually start playing a game on it. It's like there's some kind of whole thing in psychology about like the 4 minute rule where like if something takes longer than 4 minutes to actually start doing, you're less likely to do it.
hmm, that's interesting. Okay, what about how literally all my games are less than 4 minutes to just start playing, and I haven't been playing most of them.
That might be a you issue.
Yeah, probably.
It also just might be an overabundance of options issue.
That I feel like is the more likely. I have too many options, and at the end of the day, I pick nothing.
But yeah, I don't know. And there was a song near the beginning of this movie that I thought, oh, that's neat.
Oh yeah, that little jazz number or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like I could put it in an obscure Disney songs playlist because something I actually like doing is getting like a bunch of obscure music, like actual lyrical music, and not just scores because I feel like going for scores is pretty cheap. Um,
Okay,
just
but this
obscure.
wasn't lyrical music.
No, I'm talking about a lyrical piece.
Yeah. Oh, now what are you
Like
talking about? Oh wait.
it's
Oh, in the beginning of the movie.
like I
Oh,
said, yeah,
sorry. I was thinking about something different. When they were talking about Clade, was it?
yeah, probably. But yeah, I felt like it would be a good addition to that whole thing because like I love collecting random obscure Disney songs and trying to have people guess what they're from.
Look, if anyone has ever seen this movie and they hear that song, they'll know it's from this movie. The problem being, that's not a lot of people.
I mean, probably some of the most obscure shit I've pulled is one of my favorites is the song Unforgettable. Nobody has guessed that one correctly yet.
I guess it just really wasn't unforgettable.
Well, see, the movie it's from is Finding Dory.
I watched that actually. That could have watched it in theaters. I think I actually did. I
I
can't
did
remember.
not I did not watch it in theaters. In fact, I think the first time I saw Finding Dory, it's a bit of a weird scenario. Um, so you remember how I had discovered that there was a way to watch movies in 3D on the 3DS?
Yeah, you said you've watched it on like the original Nemo, right?
No, I watched Finding Dory.
Huh.
Like that was the first movie I tested it with, and then I later watched Infinity War with it. And I think those were the only two movies I was ever able to actually try.
I need to start watching like 3D movies. I need to find a way to watch 3D movies with my VR headset.
That would be neat. Unfortunately, the site I was pulling the movie files from is like gone. So, or at least it was last time I looked for it, but that was ages ago, and
I
I have no
mean, they.
reason to look for it now because
Yeah,
I
your
don't have a
3DS is dead.
functioning, yeah, like I don't have a functioning 3DS anymore. But yeah, God, I feel like we're not even talking about the movie at all. But
Hey, like most of the public.
yeah, like I feel like there's not much to say. It's an average movie. It's nice to see a gay lead Disney character. It's cool that it's not a coming out story because there is an overabundance of those.
The
Um,
aesthetic is nice. The beginning of the movie, especially, has that very adventure feel to it.
it kind of suffers a little bit from not having a villain, but not too badly. It also kind of suffers a little bit from being another generational conflict story from Disney because
But you can get past that.
Yeah, like all the issues I'm talking about with this movie are things you can get past. Most of the hate for this movie is coming from homophobes. Uh, like legit, there is a teacher in Florida right now who is having her job threatened, her teaching license threatened, and she's a first year. She showed the movie to her class for like the environmental aspects of the movie. And importantly, she had permission from the school to do so.
Oh, Florida. Please
Yeah.
fucking change.
Oh, yeah. And reminder, I said high school. And for those of you wondering, yes, the Don't Say Gay bill did pass. And yes, that was supposed to only apply to like kindergarten through third grade. But as we all said, and as what it exactly ended up happening, they immediately expanded it to include all the way through high school.
You know, high school seniors are 18 years old, right? Did you know that? I mean, it's a pretty fucking interesting fact that I'm pretty sure 18 years old, they can decide whether they're freaking gay or not.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
just ridiculous.
Yeah.
What these schools are, what Florida is willing to put up with for homophobia.
Yeah, and like I have another opinion too about this where like all right, I'm just going to be flat out blunt and say it. No matter how much you try to stop them, teenagers are going to be having sex.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the way that we got teen pregnancy down is having more options for birth control, not saying don't have sex.
And also like educating people about safe sex. Um,
Exactly.
but it's all but it's also like it's not just effective at preventing teen pregnancy, it's also effective at preventing well, I guess technically they're called STIs now in teens.
Huh,
Um,
really?
yeah.
Hmm.
And see, the thing is, people definitely know that they're gay um, by the time like they get into high school. A lot of people know even in middle school. And it's like, if they're gay and they're teens, they're very likely going to be having gay sex, especially if they go to a large school because there's definitely going to be other gay people that are probably interested in them. And look, there are
Unless you're me.
certain I mean, you're demisexual. That's kind of a different case.
Fair
Um,
enough.
and look, it would be a whole lot better for everyone involved if even the gay teens got to be educated on how to have safe sex.
I
I'm
mean, there was like in my school, I'm just gonna say, our education really just was really good in that department,
That's
especially
good to
about
hear.
and I know it's just because I freaking live in Oregon and that's just how Oregonians get things done. But
Okay,
um
so I live in Alabama, and if you want an idea of how bad sex ed is in Alabama, Alabama has the highest teen pregnancy rate in the country.
with their cousin, I'm sorry, that was too low. That was too low.
Yeah, go fuck yourself with that one.
Okay, but to be fair, you did leave that way too open.
No,
That was
like
way too
seriously,
free.
seriously, I'm tired of the fucking garbage Alabama incest jokes when there's not even any truth to it. Um,
But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about okay, we're here to talk about isn't even what we're talking about now. However, um,
anyway, anyway, as I'm saying, like basically growing up when I was in school, my sex ed was basically abstinence only, and also AIDS exists. We're not going to explain any of the symptoms of AIDS or how like you get it and how to protect yourself from getting it. It's just don't have sex because AIDS exists.
No, I mean, we got the entire 9 yards of consent, different types of birth control, the percentage of how they work. By the way, you can also bring this up to your doctor about birth control because they can help you prescribe the exact one that would fit your needs. And um, the different STDs and don't get them, and how not to get them.
Well, like I said, I think they're called STIs now. Um,
Yeah, I think back when I was still in school, it was called STDs.
but like, did you also get like, um, did your school also like educate like both sexes on like the anatomy of both sexes?
Yep, it was not
Because
split.
good, because I very often see those split, and like
In
that
fact,
leads to a.
actually, wait. So there was actually a conversation about this. Not in my high school. No, we actually like the first instance of sex ed I had was in middle school, 6th grade.
If I tell you we didn't even really have a sex ed class and this was just bundled in with our health class, would you even be surprised?
Okay, I mean it was just bundled in with our health class too, but like I'm pretty sure it was the majority of our health class.
And
No, no,
for this
in our
health
sixth
class, it was only like maybe 2 weeks at most.
it was yeah, ours was a bit more than 2 weeks. But you wanna know what's weird about the my 6th grade one?
What's that?
Was not bundled in with the health class. That didn't exist. It had to be bundled in with our science class.
Uh, okay, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, I definitely do think it's a pro like yeah, we've tried the abstinence only route
and
with
it
sex
didn't
ed.
work.
Yeah, it not only didn't work, but it's still being used today, and there is clear evidence that it's not fucking working.
Look, I would prefer the route of let's just not have teens having sex. But that's not happening, and we need to stop pretending that it's not happening.
Yeah, like have you ever like to the people who think, "Oh, just don't have sex, teens." Have any of you ever talked to a teenager? The more you try to stop a teenager from doing something, the more likely they're going to fucking do it.
And the only reason I didn't is because I'm a freaking nerd. Not everyone is like me.
I mean, I didn't do it because like I'm trans and the thought of having sex in this body is fucking disgusting to me.
Yeah, just I'm just a nerd. No,
But yeah,
I'll
like
do it when it's ready. I'll get Donkey Kong Barrel Blast. That has to work, right? Scott the Woz would never lie to me.
shut up. But yeah, like I'd love to say that the idea of abstinence only would work, but we've seen it doesn't, and we've seen that proper sex ed is effective at reducing the risk of like teen pregnancies and STIs. So, I mean, give proper sex ed, educate both sexes about both male and female anatomy, and also, for God's sake, when you're talking about how to have safe sex, also teach about safe sex for lesbian sex and gay sex.
Wow, we just reached the actual point of why we discussed this. Because we were so off the point, it was actually laughable. But then again, what the hell else? I mean, I think we're done talking about the movie. Are you?
I mean, yeah, movie's good. It's average. And if it wasn't for the fact that there are homophobes at Disney, I really wouldn't recommend watching it. But just because I want to stick a middle finger to those homophobes at Disney, go watch this movie if you haven't.
I mean, I'd just say go watch it anyway if you have the free time. Like, it's definitely not you have to watch this above all the other movies, but like, it's a good time waster.
Yeah, it's a fine movie,
Now
but
let's
that's
look at the horrible ratings.
yeah. Well, like I said, a lot of these ratings are going to be due to the movie getting review bombed for having the gay.
Wait, what the frick? Okay, I'm gonna say
What?
something and then I'm gonna completely reverse it. So, IMDb gives it a 5.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 72%, and 50% of Google users like this movie. However, oh, actually, eh, oh yeah, so this rates it out of 5 instead of 10 or 100. Okay. Yeah, so apparently if you scroll down to reviews, you can see the Google reviews, and it says an average of 2.7 stars out of 2,000 ratings.
2.7 is still like above half.
I mean, I guess it rounds.
I mean, that's still above half because half would be like 2.5.
I guess it rounded down because it felt like it, or just snapped to 50. Either way.
Well, I think the 50 is based on the like and dislike buttons and not necessarily on the star ratings.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And I really don't like the whole like dislike thing with Google.
I just don't know
Um,
why they have two features for reviews.
yeah. I actually think I do know why. Um, because I think one was like I think the whole like dislike feature that was implemented for the search engine itself. But then like the star rating system that I believe was implemented when Google Play Movies and TV became a thing. And those reviews that you're seeing are probably from Google Play Movies and TV. And you might be able to rate it within the search engine itself too now, but I imagine that's why the two separate things exist.
I mean, I always thought like the ratings that you like Google ratings has always existed. Like you can rate different businesses as well. I just thought it was like that.
Yeah, well, like with movies and TV being on the Google Play Store, it obviously would have led to a star system for them because everything on the Google Play Store can be rated with 1 to 5 stars. So, but like that wasn't always a thing. You were typically expected to buy your movies and TV through third-party apps like Amazon. Um,
Sorry, I just want to look through 1-star reviews. Purely garbage. That's basically this movie's summary.
wow.
I love how all these people are giving a 5-star rating and saying nothing about the movie's writing or plot. Just how amazing the diversity was, or how loved the gay undertones, etc., etc. Barfing emoji. Oh, hey, there's a
Yeah.
go woke, go broke. Wow. I almost threw up in my mouth after saying that.
God, I love how the right loves to say "go woke, go broke" while the company is still like making shit tons of money.
I like how the right is saying sheeple when they all say the same arguments.
I like how the right says sheeple when some of them take livestock medication.
oh, this review is great. Can I do a negative 5 stars?
Oh my god. I mean, it's like, can you talk about what you actually don't like about the movie without just being homophobic? I mean, because
No,
that's what
they
I did
can't.
here.
No, they can't. Because that's the only reason why they dislike the movie, and then they refuse to watch it any further.
Yeah, it's like, you can't handle a gay person existing. That says more about you than it says about the movie.
I mean, I can understand someone like just really hating this movie for another reason, but those people are too far in between.
Yeah, like, I can understand someone hating this movie, say, because they are sick and fucking tired of the generational conflict trope that Disney's been doing lately. Like,
But again, two and far between.
yeah. But
But
anyway,
we should get our own ratings in.
yeah, I almost forgot we hadn't done that. So I would say the Rotten Tomatoes rating is fair, so I think I'm also gonna give this movie a 7.2.
Wait, what the hell just happened?
What?
Um, well, apparently when I loaded up Strange World reviews, a third rating came up. 4 out of 5 on Common Sense Media. If you can.
That's a little above what I would put it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm glad to see it getting at least a better review.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to rate a little bit higher than Rotten Tomatoes. So, 7 point. Nah, fuck it, 7.8.
All
You
right.
saw at the end of the
So,
movie, you saw how much water there was at the end of the movie?
yeah, I knew that was coming. So anyway, you can join us next week for the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, as well as the Seven Deadly Sins Seasons 1 and 2. But until then, I've been Avery, that's been Lily, and we will be seeing you.